Hi everybody! Today I'm going to show you how to prep your paper for our Sharpie value drawings. So if you remember, you're taking your picture and you've already figured out the size of the cropped image that you're going to use, and I'm going to show you how to get your grid lines on both that picture and on your paper. So to start with, we have two different size boxes that you can use for this. We have a 6-inch square and then we have an 8-inch square. My recommendation is for you to think about yourself and your own time management when you're choosing between the two, and you can also think about your image a little bit. So for instance, if I were going to choose this image, there's a lot of texture in it, a lot of detail, and a lot of depth. So for this one, I would probably go with the 6-inch square. Whereas if I were going to use this picture that's a little more simple, there's a lot more negative space that's more blank, I would probably go with the 8-inch square, just so that I've got something a little bit bigger with that detail. But also think about how quickly you move with your artwork, if you're usually behind or on time as you're making that decision. All right, so we've got both of these squares. Let's say for this one, I'm going to go with the 6-inch square. So to figure out where each of your boxes go, we're going to have 4 boxes by 4 boxes. So in total, there'll be 16. And I labeled right here off to the side the different measurements that you should be marking. So when you have your paper, you're going to take your ruler, you're going to set it up right on the edge. So I'm not marking from the edge of the ruler, I'm going to the edge of the inch line. So this is our 0. And I'm looking, and all the way at the end, it should end right about at 6. So then, I can take my pencil, and I'm going to make a mark just like it says over here at the 1.5, at the 3, and at the 4.5. Now a lot of people at this point would just go and take their ruler and draw a line, but that won't necessarily be straight unless you do the same thing at the bottom. So now I'm putting my ruler along the bottom, checking to make sure the edge of my paper is at the 0 and my 6 is at the other, and then I'm going to make those marks again, 1.5, 3, 4.5. Now I have 2 points, so I can hold my ruler and know that it's going to be straight, and I can go and connect my lines. We want these lines to be very, very light, so you can go back and erase them. So that first one might have been even a little bit too dark, because ultimately we don't want those to show, and we're going to go back and erase. So the lighter the better. Now I have 4 columns. I'm going to turn my paper, and I'll do the same thing in the other direction. So once again, starting at the 0, making a mark at 1.5, 3, and 4.5. Up at the top, 1.5, 3, 4.5, connecting those lines. And as I finish up, I'm just going to bring the 8-inch square in here for you to see. The only difference is that you will have lines at the 2, the 4, and the 6 if you're going with the 8-inch box. So that's what it shows right there. And you'll know you're ready to move on when you've got all the boxes on here. Then we're going to do the same on top of your picture. So if I go back to my first one of my puppy, you can see I had my box and I made my marks there as well.